In my last video, I showed you all the process of making my first game using C++. It took me around 3 months to finish a 2D game like that, but today I'll be taking it up a notch and making a 3D game, all within just 1 month. It's been almost 2 years since I completed my first game, and I've made a few other games along the way, so I'm pretty confident that I can pull this off. And this will be my first time using Unity, so I'll be learning as I go. First thing first, we need an idea. I came across a mobile game called Mars, and it has pretty simple gameplay, which is perfect for someone like me who's just learning Unity. So I decided to borrow that concept. And by borrow, I mean literally remaking the whole game in Unity. In this game, you play as an astronaut on some weird planet, hopping back and forth between floating platforms. Yeah, that's the whole game. It's fun, right? Every successful jump earns you a point, and if you fall, you are dead. The goal here is to keep hopping as long as you can. So I made a simple model for the astronaut, wrote a few lines of code to make the character fly left and right, and voila! Oh shit. From what I found out, in Mars, the developers manually placed over 10,000 floating platforms. That's wild, no way I'm doing all that by hand. So I wrote a little algorithm to randomly generate platforms at different heights. Up, down, you get the idea. It doesn't look as varied as in Mars, but it's good enough. At this point we have all the core mechanics done, but currently the game looks like shit. And I can't leave it looking this plain and empty, so I went online, grabbed some spray images and stuck them behind the camera for a spray vibe. And now the game looks plain and empty, but in the middle of the stars. We need to do better than this. I added another layer with parallax effect to make the stars look like they are moving. And now it's still plain and empty, but with more stars. Oh boy, this is gonna take a while. Since I wasn't happy with the background, I hit up the internet for some more images of space and planets. The feeling I'm aiming for here is something that makes the players feel amazed. It makes them feel small. Something that makes you say, holy sh. I placed Earth in the middle of the background, hiding it behind clouds to give it a mysterious, colossal look. Since I'm not an artist and I have zero drawing experience, it took me about 10 hours over 2 days to finish this background, all while my final exams are a week away. And yet, here I am, making this piece of shit. And even after all that time, it still didn't quite look the way I wanted. But I decided to move on because I need to finish this game. Coding the floating platforms were easy, but making the terrain, not so much. Initially I wanted to create ground models and spawn them in the game with code. But the models overlapped when they were close, which looked weird. If you don't know what overlapping means, it's when two 3D objects sit on top of each other, and it's bad. After some research, I found a tutorial on procedural generation by Sebastian Leak. And since I didn't have much time left, I skimmed a few videos to understand how it works. Then I did a little magic trick like Ctrl C, Ctrl V. The idea is to generate terrain using something called a noise map. It's a black and white image that looks like this. White represents 1, the highest point, black is 0, the lowest, and grey is somewhere in between. With these values, I can generate mountains and plains. And if you look closely, our platforms are just cubes. After creating the terrain, I made a platform model for the astronaut to land on. Then I imported everything into Unity to arrange and polish it all up. And here's the final result. It doesn't look as good as I imagined. Maybe I aimed a bit too high. And honestly, 30 days for a game like this is way too long. But as a beginner in Unity, so I'll still call this a win. There's still a lot of things that could be improved, but due to time constraints, I'm going to stop here and focus on other things. As for the source code, I don't think I'll be sharing it. It's pretty messy. I'll wait until I have something bigger and better before I go public with my code. And alright, see you next time.